Okay, hi, DDC.
Yes,
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, ma'am. We have one retained case here for Alvin Solomon. So Solomon can go first, and very shortly we'll be able to get you an update on the files where we have matches with MDIC.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just an update, Solomon has 2 cases.
Yes, sir, and there's a retained attorney on that, so thank you, sir, appreciate you. Do you have any files that we can match up at this time?
Yes, I have 1 through 3.
Okay, hang on. Gotta do them by names, the numbers are, okay, hang on. So you have Justin Williams, Anton Swift, Davis, Powers, Anderson, Dejan Buchanan. Okay, stand by. Okay, we got that one. Mathis.
Devontae Carter.
2. Got it.
And O'Byron.
What was it again, sir?
O'Byron.
Okay, we have that one. So, what about Mario Jackson? It's an FLC?
No more than that.
Not yet? Okay. Thank you. Just update us when you can. That should be enough to get us started. And we've got,
Your Honor, Deputy Wright, Wayne County Sheriff's Office. I have Mr. Mario Jackson here.
Yeah, he's
yes,
not
sir.
here.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. No, we were covering Mr. Jackson. Wait. Actually, he was from earlier today. I think there was an interview.
Oh, wait, you're absolutely.
Yeah, double check on that one.
I haven't seen, you should be ready to go.
Okay, County standby. He just has to get Mr. Jackson's paperwork for the interview, and then we'll be able to get that going. So standby. Okay, gentlemen at the DDC at Detroit Detention Center, your name, please.
Alvin.
I'm sorry, sir.
Alvin Solomon.
Thank you, sir. We're on the record. Calling. Case number 180584660, People State of Michigan versus Alvin Solomon. Counsel, your appearance, please. I'm sorry, I think you're on mute. If you can, you're on mute.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Roger Farina, P62269, on behalf of Mr. Alvin Solomon, former.
Okay, stand by, counsel. Court with the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to this first case, a friend of the court case. Let the record reflect there was a Zoom probable cause conference date August 18, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to the 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom current examination date to be determined. The court dates are going to be different between this one and the other case, so we'll take your bond argument on this one. This is the friend of the court case, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. My client has been paying child support. He has been laid off from Chrysler. He's been doing DoorDash. He's been taking care of the children. He intends to continue taking care of the children. The stimulus check obviously will go towards the family, not towards him. And he does intend to hire, he has hired his own private attorney to try and take care of this matter as a family support judge. I would say he's not.
Thank you. Okay. Counsel, court takes account representations, including this is not an assaultive matter for the vindicated. The client is making an effort toward making amends with regard to the arrearage. Further, the court is required to set bond the amount of 25% of the dollar amount the state alleged that he owes. He advised to let the record reflect the court normally has that information in front of it. It appears that this is a standby. It appears that this is a duplicate file, so the court does not have standby. Court was looking to see if there was any indication what the previous bond was, as it looks like this case. the court's looking at, okay, it appears that there was a bond set, counsel, back December 27, 2019. Your client was supposed to have an exam date. Looks like January 8 of 2020. And looks like he failed to appear on January 8. Do you have any information on why he failed to appear?
I don't think the notice was received by him. I know he owns his own home, and he intends to take care of it and has been paying the support. I don't have anything, if anything happened, it was adjourned or if the COVID stepped in at that time. But again, he will be present at the next court date and wants to take care of this matter and has been paying his support. So I would ask if we can keep the August 18th date. My client will talk with the prosecutor's office, and we'll get all the payments that he's paying put together so the prosecutor can see what he's been doing for his children.
All right. Okay, well, counsel, here's what the court is going to do. Let the record reflect that a review of the file, the Register of Actions indicates that when your client was arraigned, bond at that time was set in the amount of $5,245 personal bond, presumably being 25% of the dollar amount the state alleged that he was owing at that time. Given your representations that your office is representing him on this case for this and future court dates, court is going to set bond the amount of $5,000 personal bond.
You judge.
Anything further at this time as of this case, sir? Counsel? Anything further as to this case, sir?
It cut out.
I cannot hear you, sir. You're glitching. Okay, counsel, you're frozen. Okay, counsel, my apologies. I don't know if you need to dial back in, but you're glitching very badly. It's affecting our audio, and let the record reflect that. Oh, I think we lost him. Okay, stand by, DDC.
Hello.
Okay. I think it's better now. You froze up and it was glitching very badly, so we barely caught anything of what you were saying. The court was asking, as to the friend of the court case, was there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to move on to his other case. Calling case number 210-56810, People State of Michigan versus Alvin Joseph Solomon. Again, your name and your P number for the record, sir. No. Okay, counsel, you're glitching again. You're frozen. Hi, counsel, can you hear us? Your screen is frozen, sir. Okay, counsel, try it again.
Yes, Your Honor. Stand mute. I ask the not guilty plea be entered on behalf of Solomon and waiver form.
Okay. Thank you, counsel. Also, could you give us your P number for the record, sir?
P62269, Your Honor.
66269.
P62269.
One more time, sir. 62269. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Thank you, sir. You're waiving the formal reading and stand your client mute.
Yes,
There
Judge.
is going to be a Zoom probable cause conference set for April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by a Zoom plenary examination date to be determined in front of Judge Archer. And just if you could reiterate your bond argument, sir. Earlier you glitched out, so we didn't catch very much of what you were indicating for bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mike is not a flight risk. He owns his own home. The house is in Detroit. He was gainfully employed for several years at Chrysler Corporation. He got laid off with the COVID. He's currently doing DoorDash, but he is not, I don't believe, a violent criminal record. Not in immunity. He's hired his own attorney and intends to fight this matter, Judge.
Thank you. DDC's bond or any hold?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes counter representations, including these are all non-assaultive charges. They're allegations only for a client has very long-term significant ties to the community and long-term ties to the community. Given those elements, court will set bond amount of $7,500 personal bond and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You're all set, Mr. Solomon. You can step away from the camera.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Okay, next. Counsel, are we ready to go on Mr. Mario Jackson? Because go ahead.
I did not see Mario Jackson on that.
Okay, so no one has interviewed him? The sheriff's deputy did say that Mr. Jackson was interviewed.
Yeah, someone interviewed him, Your Honor. I just can't remember who it was.
The guy
It
with
was in
the
the morning.
Ray Sports Pope, salt and pepper here,
Yeah,
young
I forget
black
his name.
guy.
Mr. Reagan? Okay, county standby, sir. Thank you. Okay, once we have the attorney back, we'll be able to proceed. DDC, be advised, here's what we have ready to go. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, Your Honor.
We have Justin Williams, Anton Swift, Tyler Davis, Willie Powers, Jaywan Anderson, Dejan Buchanan, Dennis Bright Bay, Tyrone Mathis, Devontae Carter, Oberon England.
What's up, bro? These the ones you got ready to go. 1 through 7. And then, yeah.
What's your name, brother? Just with someone that black lines, see your first and last name? Say your name, brother.
Justin Williams.
Okay, stand by, sir. We're just waiting for the attorney to join us in the room again, and we'll be right there.
Okay.
We do have it? Okay, DDC, stand by. We're gonna get the one at the county. Oh, stand by. Mario Jackson, correct?
Mario Jackson?
Mario Jackson, is that correct? You have that one?
Yes.
Okay, county, we have Mario Jackson. DDC, your gentleman can stay right there. We'll get to him in just a moment. We've had these folks from the county since this morning, waiting for the file. Okay, with regard to Mario Jackson, case number 1905889, Keep State, Michigan versus Mario Jackson, AKA Mario Cortez Jackson Counsel.
Driver Ron, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Mario Jackson, waive formal reading. Thank you. Mr. Jackson's been advised of constitutional rights.
Oh, wait, the formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date August 18, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by Zoom for an examination date to be determined. The first portion of the case will be in front of Judge Hathaway. Second portion of the case will be in front of Judge Giles and Echelon.
This time, Your Honor, Mr. Jackson is a 37-year-old lifetime resident of the city of Detroit. Doesn't have a stable residence in the community, so his mother wants the court to know that he's a high school graduate from Highland Park High School. It indicates to our office that he became paralyzed in October of 2018 and does take medication due to that. It's just an unassaultive allegation. That is the court, knowing that the court has to make his bond 25% of Mr. Jackson's arrearages, and the court to do that in a personal bond.
Thank you. Court will mark the file medical. With regard to the bond itself, counsel, the court is required by law to set bond 25% of the dollar amount of state alleged that he owes, in this case, just over $15,000. Given your representations, further that this is a non-assaultive matter, and given your client's pre-existing medical condition, at this time, court finds there's a basis to authorize, it's right that to set aside the 25% required by bond and set amount of $15,000 personal bond. Court is marking the file medical. Is there anything further regarding this case? All right, stand by. I'm going to cover his next case. Calling. Case number 210-56816, People State of Michigan versus Mario Cortez Johnson Counsel, or Mario Jackson.
3665 on behalf of Mr. Mario Jackson. You're going to ask for the formal reading of this case?
You are asking for the formal reading, is that correct?
That's correct, and he will stand.
Thank you. Counsel, so charges only, is that correct? Charges only?
Charges and maximum penalty.
That's fine. All right, let the record reflect Mr. Jackson is charged with count 1, assault with intent to great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. It is a felony. Penalty 10 years or $5,000 for DNA to be taken upon arrest. Count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault. It is a felony. Penalty 4 years in prison and a $2,000 fine with DNA to be taken upon arrest. Count 3 and 4, weapons, felony, firearm. Each count carries 4 years. It's a penalty of 4 years and or $2,000 with DNA to be taken upon arrest. Anything further, counsel?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, court will waive an additional reading, enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Counsel, if you could just revisit the, this is an allegation from an alleged matter from March 25th of 2021. If you could just, again, reiterate your bond argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jackson is a 37-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. Indicates to our office that he is a single resident here in the community with his mother. Does have 5 children as well. Your Honor, is gainfully employed as a nail technician. He's a high school graduate from Highland Park High. Indicates to our office that he's not under any probation or parole, and utilization to be paralyzed in October 2018. Does understand to have no contact with any complaining witness and follow all orders of this court. We ask the court for personal bond.
Okay. And county has the bond. Are there any holds regarding Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, Deputy Riley, Wayne County Sheriff's Office, the file I have unfortunately does not have any information on this felony case, so at this time I am unable to give you any information regarding that.
Regarding any holds, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate that, the input. All right, counsel, the court takes into account your representations, including your client's significant ties to the community, and also the court is, it remains mindful, as you did indicate to this court in the previous case, that he does have a pre-existing medical condition. The court is also balancing of the nature of the charge and the seriousness of the allegations, and although despite your representations regarding any physical limitations your client may be experiencing, a review of the investigator's report belies that concern, in that the court, quite frankly, is surprised that at least it appears that there's at least one, if not 2, complaining witnesses or potential individuals who were party to this alleged incident, and that apparently, I just write that. All right, here's what the court is going to do. The court is mindful that they're okay, and the review of the file indicates that it appears that your client was injured as a result of this alleged sequence of events. Here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to set bond in the amount of $75,000 personal bond. The court is going to mark the file medical. He's also going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Also, while this case is pending, absolutely no contact with complaining witness Letitia and Owens Eli. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to her through third parties, and no contact order also extends to her place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, sir. Thank you very much, counsel. We appreciate your patience. We are concluded.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Could I just get the case number on that felony case, the assaulted one?
I'm sorry. Okay, in case we didn't, I'm sorry, a couple things. One is that the probable cause conference that we didn't cover is April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. at the 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom plenary examination date to be determined. It's in front of Judge King. The case number is 210-56816. Anything further, Deputy?
Just a court date on the assaulted case.
April 26, 2021, and it will be by Zoom, followed by a preliminary examination date to be determined, both in front of Judge King.
How about the child support?
And the child support is the same date?
That's in August.
August 18, August 18,
Okay.
Okay,
at
thank
Frank
you.
Murphy, at Frank
Okay.
Murphy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, DDC, thank you for your patience. That case has been waiting. We've been waiting around since the morning for that one. We just wanted to get it off our plate. We should be able to go down your list without any other concerns. We're ready when you are, ma'am.
Thank you. State your name.
Actually, you're on Magistrate Sherman.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we pull the MDOC? Can we shut the breakout room down so that Mr.
Okay,
Campbell
well-
can be brought out and then he's ready?
Okay, thank you. We're closing the room now. I think it might take a moment to shut down, but we'll have them out shortly.
It looks like there he is right now.
Oh, okay, great. Stand by. We're going to get this one off our plate, and then we'll be able to get yours, ma'am. Hi, gentlemen, at the MDOC, at the DDC. Your name, sir?
Justin Williams.
Okay, thank you. We're on the record. Calling case number 210-56802. People say Michigan versus Justin Williams, counsel.
Brad Marotti, 3665, on behalf of Mr. Justin Williams, with full review. Mr. Williams has been involved.
Full waive the formal reading and turn not guilty clear on your client's behalf. This is Zoom probable cause conference date April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Followed by Zoom clear examination date to be determined. Also at the Thursday District Court in front of Judge King and Esteban.
As Your Honor, I would like the court to know that Mr. Williams is a 37-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. Does indicate to our office that he does not have any prior criminal history. This gainfully employed at Cruise Construction, has earned a GED, not on any probation or parole. We respectfully ask this court to consider personal involvement.
Okay, thank you. And DDC is bond, are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Counsel Court takes the kind of representations, including your client's ties to the community. Court is also balancing the nature of the charges, as well as the pending facing the nation and other criteria in the Michigan court rules as to bond. Given what has been presented, court at this time will set bond in the amount of $2,500 personal bond. Is there anything further, sir?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you're all set. You can step away from the camera. Okay, DDC, stand by. We have one matter out of the MDOC. You can just get your person ready. And I think we are ready. Ms. Stevenson, are we ready with regard to Mr. Campbell?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you both very much. Calling case number 170-61618, People say Michigan versus Darren Lamont Campbell, also known as Daryl Campbell, also known as Darius Drumgo, also known as Antoine Lamar Campbell, also known as Mac Mackley Drumgo, also known as Vincent Dwayne Campbell, also known as Vincent Dwayne Johnson, also known as Marvin Hendricks, also known as Mark Drumgo, also known as Darren Lamont Campbell, also known as Darren Campbell, also known as Darren, different spelling of the first name, Campbell. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Magistrate Sherman. For the record, Janice Stevenson, P57708, appearing on behalf of Mr. Darren Campbell, who waives the reading of the information and stands immediately after the plea of not guilty. Enter on his behalf, Mr. Campbell has been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Court will wait for formal reading at your not guilty on your client's behalf. As a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 12, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court with a preliminary examination date, April 19, 2021 at 9 o'clock, the 36th District Court in front of Judge Giles and Esteban, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Mr. Campbell is incarcerated at the Michigan Department of Corrections, Your Honor. He wants the court to know that he actually had a parole and was scheduled to be released in September of 2020, except for the fact that this case showed up and delayed his parole. Mr. Campbell is 57 years old, Your Honor. He is a holder of a GED, Your Honor, a lifelong resident of the state of Michigan. Again, was looking at a parole release until this case, which is from 2016, showed up. Mr. Campbell is I'm gonna ask the court that bond not exceed $5,000, 10%, Your Honor. I do understand the serious nature of the charges, but again, Mr. Campbell was on his way out of the MDOC until this case in 2016 showed up.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The court appreciates you providing context with regard to the basis of these charges, and that it appears that there's a need as a matter of housekeeping to get this case up and running. The court is prepared under what you've indicated regarding in consideration for bond or bond conditions, given the age of the case and the fact that it sounds like there are some just mechanics that need to get in place to get this case up and running so that your client can move forward with regard to securing a parole. Let me ask you this: does it have any effect, if you're to your knowledge? Does it have any effect with what type, like whether it's a personal bond or a cash bond, like a nominal cash bond, or to your knowledge, does it matter?
So my experience has been if there's not some money on it, maybe even $100, that he might get lost if he doesn't actually have if there's no money on it, he might get lost. So that's the only reason
Okay.
I'm asking for some kind of money on it, Judge.
Okay, that's fine, ma'am, and the court appreciates that. That was the takeaway, so the court just wanted to clarify and to help to facilitate moving this case along as efficiently as possible. Given your representations, counsel, at this time, court, for the reasons stated on the record, court is going to set bonding amount of $1,000, 10%. More importantly, also, while this case is pending, no contact with complaining witness Alethea Honeycutt. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to the place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. Is there anything further, ma'am?
Nothing at all. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Campbell. Good luck, sir. Thank you for your patience, and we're going to get your case moving. Okay, thank you, sir.
I got one question.
Okay.
When is
Yes, sir.
When is my next court date?
Your next court date is April 12, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by preliminary examination date April 19. So April 12, April 19, sir.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Ms. Stevenson.
Your Honor.
Okay, DDC, we're back. Thank you so much. Hi, your name, sir? Okay, Mr. Swift, calling case number 210-56801, People of Michigan versus Anton Anthony Swift. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Brian Marat, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Anton Swift, we formal greetings to you. Mr. Swift has been advised of this constitutional.
For which formal reading into a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There is a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 12, 2021 at 8:30 for 36th District Court, and it looks like the preliminary examination date is April 19, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court in front of McConico in Esteban.
The bond owner, Mr. Swift, is 25 years old, a lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit, indicates to our office that he does not have any criminal prior criminal history. He's the employee at Chrysler. Your Honor, but that's the court for a personal bond against the children in the community as well. It doesn't appear that he's a non-assault allegation.
Thank you. And DDC is bond, there any holds?
He has holds, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Counsel, court takes in counter representation, including your client's significant ties to the community, also it's non-assaultive, and the pandemic facing the nation. Given those elements under the Michigan court rules, as the bond, court will set bond amount of $2,000 personal bond, and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Go.
Oh, stay. Which one was you at? Stay around this way. I'll take a look.
Hi, your name, sir?
Thank you.
Hi,
Tyler,
your name?
Tyler Davis.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Calling case number 210-56799, People of Michigan versus Tyler Davis. Counsel.
Brian Marat, PA 3665, on behalf of Tyler Davis, we formal greetings, stand mute. The case is been advised for constitutional.
Go with formal reading into a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There will be a Zoom probable cause conference date April 14, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 21, 2021 at 9 a.m. to 36th District Court, both in front of Judge McConico and Esteban.
As bond owner, my client is 22 years old, has no assault history, is self-employed doing makeup and eyelashes at this time. Has had a stable residence in the city of Detroit with a fiance. Indicates to our office that she not also monitored bond, we would ask this court to consider personal violence and doesn't treat as an assault allegation.
Thank you. And DDC is bond, are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, counsel, court takes into account representations, including under the Michigan criteria, the Michigan court rule, not only in addition to the pandemic facing the nation, also that your client does have significant ties to the community and gainful employment, as well as this is non-assaultive. Given those elements, court will set bond amount of $1,000 personal bond and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. You can step away from the camera.
You good. And pull it over your nose. Don't shoot like nobody else. There you go.
Hi, your name?
Powers Willie.
Okay, got it. Calling case number 210-56800, People State of Michigan. Sir, is it Powers Willie or Willie Powers, sir?
Willie Powers.
Okay, thank you. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Driver PA 3665, we have Mr. Willie Powers with formal reading. Mr. Powers been advised to come to the floor.
Full with formal reading into tonight, guilty plea on your client's behalf. This is Zoom probable cause conference date April 12, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. for Thursday District Court, followed by Zoom plenary examination date April 19, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the Thursday District Court, both in front of Judge Mechanico, or in front of Judge Mechanico as the bond.
Bond order, Mr. Powers is 21 years old, a lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit, a stable resident with his mother, no prior criminal history, Robert Gainfully employed, doesn't uniform company, well, I have personal bond, as these are not assault allegations.
Thank you. The DDC is bond or any hold?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes the county representation to include your client's ties to the community. This is non-assaultive. Further, the pandemic facing the nation, know the criteria under the court rules as to bond. Given those elements, court will set bond in the amount of $2,000 personal bond and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further?
No further, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera. Hi, your name, sir?
Say it one more time.
Your name.
Your name, sir?
Jawan Anderson.
Thank you. Calling case number 210-56805, People State of Michigan versus Jawan Anderson, aka Jawan Terrell Anderson, aka Jawan Terrell Gordo Anderson, aka Jawan Terrell Gordo Anderson, Gordon Anderson, aka Jawan Gordon Anderson. Counsel.
Driver PA 3665, we have Mr. Dwight Anderson, wait for you to stand you, Mr. Anderson's been advised of constitutional rights.
Full with formal reading into tonight, guilty plea on your client's behalf. This is Zoom probable cause conference date April 14, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by Zoom plenary examination date April 21, 2021 at 9 a.m. to Thursday District Court, in front of Judge Mechanico and as to bond.
As bond, Your Honor, Mr. Anderson is a 21-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit, indicates to our office that he has no prior criminal history whatsoever. Currently engaged in employment of wholesale fires, has earned a GED in the community, but did not post a monetary bond. It does appear that these are not assaultive allegations. We're asking this court for personal bond.
Thank you. DDC is bond or any hold?
He has hold, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Counsel Court takes county representation, including your client's significant family and residential ties and ties to the community. Further, under the criteria the court utilizes under Michigan court rules as to bond, that your client, that this is non-assaultive, and further that and the pandemic facing the nation, given those elements, court will set bond in the amount of $2,000 personal bond and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
I got him. Come in. I want to see myself.
Oh, counsel, do you have an update on Pham Lynn?
Ready on family, Your Honor.
Okay, or Lynn Pham?
Yeah. ready.
Okay, there's a prosecutor appearing on that one, so whenever it comes up. DDC, we have an update. We're ready on Lynn Pham, Pham is the last name. Hi, your name, sir?
Dejon Buchanan.
Thank you. Calling case number 210-56806, People State of Michigan versus Dejon Lamont Buchanan. Counsel.
Ryan Morosky, 3665, I have Mr. Dejon Buchanan, wait for formal reading, stand you. Mr. Buchanan has been advised of his constitutional rights.
Full with formal reading and tonight guilty plea on your client's behalf as a Zoom probable cause conference date April 14, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 21, 2021 at 9 a.m. to Thursday District Court in front of Judge Mechanico and as bond.
Bond on Mr. Buchanan is a 21-year-old lifetime resident in the city of Detroit. Indicates to our office that he does not have any prior criminal history, is not employed at this time, passing completed a year of college, indicates that he's not even probation or parole. These are not assault allegations, Your Honor. We ask this court for personal bond.
Thank you. DDC is bond or any hold.
He has a hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Council Court takes into account representations, including your client's significant ties to the community. Also under the court rules, the pandemic facing the nation, as well as this is not assaultive. Given those elements, court will set bond in the amount of $2,000 personal bond and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, sir. You can step away from the camera.
Let me see which one the camera was ready to go. Okay, forward, step this way, step back. Yep, they're gonna call Hunter first.
Black line. No, black line, black.
Hi, your name, sir?
My name is Linh Phang.
Okay, thank you. And we do have Madam Prosecutor on screen as well. And calling case number 210-56808, People State of Michigan versus Lynn Pak Pham. Counsel, your appearance, and then Madam Prosecutor, counsel on behalf of Mr. Pham.
Private Rod, PA 3665, I'm there for Mr. Conway, full readings and news.
Okay, and also Madam Prosecutor, your name for the record, please, your appearance for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Carly Cox on behalf of the people, P81911.
Okay, thank you. Court will waive the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Before we get to dates, let's go to the bond argument because that does have an impact on the dates as well as bond or conditions of bond. So, counsel, on behalf of Mr. Pham, your representations, please.
On behalf of Mr. Pham, Your Honor, I'd like the court to know that he's a 35-year-old, 35 years old. He has indicated to our office that he does not have a prior criminal history, that he's a PhD student at Stony Brook University. Indicates that he's not on any probation or parole at this time. And does indicate, Your Honor, that he is not able to post a monetary bond, that he does not have sufficient funds to post a monetary bond. I understand that these are serious allegations, Your Honor. It does appear that our office was able to interview Mr. Pham, but would request, at least for his next hearing, for the more substantive hearings, that he be given a Vietnamese interpreter. However, we were able to sufficiently advise him on his constitutional rights. I would ask the court for a reasonable bond, if not personal, of course, with a no contact order. Once court to know that he does have a state residence in the city of Detroit.
Okay, and Madam Prosecutor Cox, your response or your bond argument, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The people would request that the court deny bond to defendant Pham, especially under MCR 6.106. The court may deny pretrial to a defendant charged with criminal sexual conduct in the first degree. The court finds that the proof of the defendant's guilt is evident or the presumption great, unless the court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is not likely to flee or present a danger to any other person. As defense counsel indicated, these are very serious offenses that Mr. Pham is charged with. Or read the investigator's report, the facts and circumstances of this case are very disturbing, with Mr. Pham breaking into the victim in this case's Airbnb room and then subsequently sexually assaulting her. And he does admit to arresting officers that he did in fact touch the victim in this case inappropriately. If the court is inclined to entertain a bond, I would request that he must be on GPS tether and that his passport and travel documents be forfeited as he is a Vietnamese national. Thank you.
If I may briefly.
Yes, counsel.
We have no objection to a GPS tether device, but as to, stating any confessions, this is somebody who doesn't even interpret, Your Honor. There's a significant language barrier. I'm not aware, or have I had no material received indicating that my client made any confession to anybody. So I'm just asking this court, we have no objection to surrendering the travel documents or GPS tether. We are still in this global health pandemic. This is somebody with no prior criminal history. With respect to testing, you has the PhD to do it. That does lead me to the assumption that he has passed background checks. And he does indicate for office again, Your Honor, no case history, no possibility of flight risk here from my client's interview. I would ask the court again to issue a reasonable bond with some sort of GPS device, no objections to the surrendering of any of his passport or any information.
Okay, thank you. And again, the the people, you're welcome to address it, but the court is going to take a moment to review details of the report before the court sets bond and/or dates. So was there anything else before we move forward?
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, stand by, both parties. Thank you.
Is we in here?
Right.
And thank you both for your patience. And in any party accused of a crime enjoys the presumption of innocence unless or until proven guilty in a court of law. However, it's early on with regard to that, and the court appreciates both sides of the equation being represented as this case. And the court has a concern, first of all, with regard to the nature of the charges on its face, which is on its face a life offense. Further, it does include allegations of a very serious nature. In every case, it's decided on a case-by-case basis, and the court certainly has its concerns here, not only with the nature of the charges, seriousness of the allegations, but also with information that is objective to any side, any argument that either party presents with regard to the allegations that lay the basis for the charges. The court also has a concern with regard to ensuring that Mr. Pham continues to avail himself to the custody of this jurisdiction while this case is pending. The court also wants to ensure safety of the community, including that of the complaining witness, and is particularly concerning with regard to the nature of these particular allegations. For the foregoing reasons, again, the court is also balancing its concerns with regard to the pandemic facing the nation. However, those concerns do not, including counsel, your representations regarding your client and assurances you've made to this court from your office regarding his return to court while this case is pending. The court wants to ensure that the integrity of this case is maintained to the best of its ability, as well as safety to the community. At this time, what the court is going to do is set bond in the amount of $1 million cash surety. No 10%, no earlier administrative release. Further, in the event that Mr. Pham post bond, he'll be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Further.
Can I place one concern on the record?
Yes, sir.
I'd ask the court for reconsideration based on one ground that I did not touch on in my initial argument.
Yes, sir.
And that's on the recent nearly 150% spike in hate crimes towards Asian Americans, especially since this global health pandemic. I do fear that with likely my client being stuck in Wayne County Jail until his next court date, I do fear that he may be in danger with respect to the impact of those hate crimes, not only the danger set by the global health pandemic, but the anti-Asian sentiment that comes behind it. Your Honor, based on what I just placed on the record, I would ask the court to consider reducing bond to a reasonable amount.
Okay, stand by. Madam Prosecutor, again, if you wish to address that, you're welcome to do that. I mean, again, the court is remaining mindful of all concerns as it relates to a condition, bond or conditions of bond and the criteria set under that. And it just so happens that we are experiencing this at a very unique time in our history. So not only the pandemic, but also the argument placed by counsel. So you're welcome to address that if you wish to. It's entirely up to you.
The people don't wish to, Your Honor. Thank you, though.
Okay, so noted. And counsel, again, the court is remaining mindful and is very much aware of that as a concern. And again, the court is remaining mindful. Stand by, let's address something. DDC question, if anyone's available.
I'm here.
If either you or the supervisor can speak on the issue if need be, is there a way to help ensure either have Mr. Pham segregated from the general population, at least while he's with you, or at least to make a notation, or there's a way that we can help to, be mindful of his safety while he is in your custody and from here forward. For example, say, for example, if there was a juvenile or an individual who needed segregation from the general population, is that available at your facility?
He's already separated here, Your Honor, but I can't guarantee once he goes to the county jail.
Thank you. I appreciate you addressing that. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, counsel, and again, the court appreciates you raising that, and you've made a record of that, and the court is going to simply include a number of matters. Given what has been presented at this time, the bond and condition of bond is going to remain the same. And of course, under Michigan court rules, bond is subject to review at any time. So certainly, if it is the case that there is a concern, then either your office or his attorney of record will be in a position to be able to address it at any given time. So stand by. So again, the bond remains the same. Also, while this case is pending, no contact with the complaining witness, Alexania Dunn. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person. No messages to her through third parties. No contact order also extends to the place of residence and place of employment. And stand by, the court is going to finish filling out the paperwork. Also, while this case is pending, one other thing is because of Mr. Pham's residency status, Madam Prosecutor, let me ask you this. If the court were to order that he turned over his passport, would your agency be the proper agency to have take receipt of that, or how would that work?
It would be in the custody of the Detroit Police Department, and I believe the officer in charge would be responsible for that.
Okay, and in the event that Mr. Pham posts bond, he will also have to surrender his passport to the officer in charge. Okay, counsel, on behalf of Mr. Pham, is there anything further? And Madam Prosecutor, is there anything further on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We appreciate everyone's consideration and your patience. And DDC, thank you very much for your input. And again, the court wants to remain mindful of ensuring Mr. Pham's safety and security while he is in custody. And the court has been very clear to indicate on the minimus the following: Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether, that the gentleman is to surrender his passport to the officer in charge, and that he will need a Vietnamese interpreter. Counsel, is there anything further on behalf of Mr. Pham?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you, Madam Prosecutor. Thank you. We are concluded. Mr. Pham, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Your Honor, may we have court dates?
I'm sorry, I did it again. Hang on. There is a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 5, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to the 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date, April 12, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court in front of Judge Jones. Thank you, ma'am. Is there anything further? Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, madam. We are concluded.
Thank you.
You're all set, so you can step away from the camera, sir. Hi, your name, sir?
Jonte Davis.
Thank you. Council, do we have an update for Davis? Are we ready to go on
Your
Davis?
Honor, we're ready on Davis. I would just ask for the formal reading. We have interviewed him this morning. We just want to know these current charges and their background.
So noted, thank you. All right, calling case number 210-56807, People State of Michigan versus John Tay Keith Davis. Mr. Davis stands charged with count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault. It is a felony. The penalty that he could receive is 4 years in prison and a $2,000 fine with DNA to be taken upon arrest. Count 2, assault or assault and battery. It is a misdemeanor, penalty 93 days in jail and a $500 fine. There's habitual offender, fourth offense notice. Counsel?
Brian Marat, DA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Jonte Davis, will stand used to those charges, Your Honor, and ask the court to allow me to address them.
Thank you. Go with the formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf. This is Zoom probable cause conference date April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m., followed by a preliminary examination date to be determined at the Thursday District Court, and it will be in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
As by Your Honor, Mr. Davis wants the court to know that he's a 31-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. It does appear that he does not have any assault convictions based on compensation, Your Honor. It does indicate to our office that he is not a free employee at this time. He is not posted with $257. He does suffer from asthma. I would ask the court, consider the fact that they're a stable resident, unaware of any assault history, Your Honor. So I ask this court to consider a personal bond. It does look like, actually nothing for Your Honor, so I ask this court to consider a personal bond, of course, we take no contact order.
Thank you. Did you see his bond during hold?
He has hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, court takes into account representations, including your client's ties to the community. Also, court takes into account of the court rules, your client's ability to post a bond or to pay, in which that is, he is of modest means at this time. And of course, also balancing with the nature of the charges and the seriousness of the allegations. Stand by.
I'm gonna get a personal bond.
And also, the court wants to ensure there is going to be no contact, or your client has another place to stay, or is going to be in a position to not have any contact with the complainant. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to set bond in the amount of $25,000, personal bond. Also, also your client is going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Also, while this case is pending, absolutely no contact with the complaining witness, Timothy Williams. No contact means no sensitive verbal communication with this person, no messages to him through third parties, and no contact order also extends to the place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. Is there anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
All right, so you still got a person, we're gonna get tether, so it's the county that tether.
Black line.
Hi, your name, sir?
I'm the beneficiary, Bright Bay, Comma Dennis.
Thank you, sir. Calling case number 210-56823, People State of Michigan versus Dennis Bright Bay. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Brian Marat, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Dennis Brightway, we have formal readings to you, Mr. Brightway, to respond to the constitutional.
Thank you. Court will wait for formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by a Zoom clear examination date to be determined in front of Judge Archer and Esteban.
Your Honor, Mr. Brightway indicates to our office that he's a 61-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. Resident is not on any probation or parole at this time. He's a private contractor, despite his ability, is not able to post a monetary bond today. Since he does appear to be on assault bond in space, I would ask the court for personal bond.
Thank you. And did you see his bond or any hold?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, court takes in account representation, including these are all non-assaultive charges. And while there is a second habitual offense notice, it's from a 1985, based on 1985 conviction, so it's significantly old. It doesn't appear there's anything else open or pending in other jurisdictions. Also, with the pandemic facing the nation at this time, court will set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal bond, and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further, sir? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera. Counsel, any other updates regarding like Phillips or Kyle's or Hendricks Logan or ACUF?
I have Hendricks Logan. What was that last one, Mr.
ACUF, ACUFF?
Yes, I have ACUF and Hendricks.
Okay. What about Childs or Phillips?
No crowds, no folks just yet.
Okay, that's fine. We have plenty. Hi, your name, sir?
Magistrate.
Okay. Calling case number 2105681, people of Michigan versus Tyrone Mathis Jr. Counsel.
Roger, PA 3665, on behalf of Tyrone Mathis, wait for reading stand mute. Mr. Mathis has been advised of his constitutional rights.
So with formal reading, it's your not guilty plea on your client's behalf is a Zoom probable cause conference date April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. for Thursday District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 26, 2021 at 9 a.m. on Thursday District Court in front of Judge Baconico and as bond.
As the bond, Your Honor, Mr. Mathis is 25 years old, lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit, with no prior criminal history, indicates to our office that he is currently employed at CSCA. He indicates he's a high school graduate, currently college, no probation, no parole. As concerned on assaultive allegations, Your Honor, we're asking for personal bond, also has a stable residence here for his bond.
Thank you. DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes counter representations, including your client's significant long-term ties to the community, as well as family ties. Also, this is non-assaultive. The court also considers the pandemic facing the nation at this time, and that your client doesn't have anything outstanding in other jurisdictions, given those elements. Court will set bond in the amount of $1,000 personal bond, and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, sir. You can step away from the camera.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hi, your name, sir?
My name is Devontae Carter.
Thank you, sir. Calling case number 2104441, people St. Michigan versus Devontae Martez, character counsel.
Brian Marad, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Devontae Carter, with briefs, Mr. Carter has been advised of his constitutional rights.
Forward the formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf is a Zoom pretrial date set for April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court in front of Judge Austin Garrett and as the bond, sir.
As the bond, Your Honor, Mr. Carter is an 18-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. Does indicate to our office that he does not have any prior criminal history, Your Honor. He does have a stable residence here in the community with his sister, not his main residence. That's the court's primary concern here is that he's going to have no contact with that witness, Your Honor. Our office has thoroughly gone over this court's anticipated no contact orders, and we are confident that Mr. Carter will abide by any orders set by this court. And Your Honor, no probation, no parole. I don't believe he ever has been on any probation or parole, Your Honor. Indicates to our office that he's not post-monetary bond. I'm asking for Mr. Carter to be released on his own recognizance.
Thank you. And DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes the counter representations, including your client's significant ties to the community. It appears that he's also going to have another place to stay, which is going to be very essential while this case is pending. And further, your client doesn't have anything else outstanding. The court does have a concern with regard to the allegations of an assaultive nature within the context of a domestic dynamic. But the court is confident that your office has counseled with him to make him so that he understands the gravity of this case and the fact that he needs to see it through to ensure there are no other issues. Mr. Carter, here's the other thing, and counsel, if I may, of course, just going to depart briefly. Here's the thing, sir. If it is the case that you have never been on probation or parole and you've never had been in trouble and never had to pick up a case, you want to do everything that you can at this time to make sure it stays that way. Okay? So if it is the case that you have never had to come to court or do anything in the future, and again, how you take the direction in which you take this case is entirely up to you. But at this time, if it's the case that you have never had a case, you're not on probation, never had anything happen to you before, it is extremely important that you do everything that you can to manage this case in the best way possible to make sure that it stays that way. Because right now, if you are a young African-American male without a record, you may not have a concept of how significant that is at this time and how much you distinguish yourself from anybody else that you may or may not be, or anyone else when it comes to that, okay? Because when it comes to anything you want to do in the future, if you're in school or if you want to go to school, if you want to apply for a loan, if you want to apply for a job, if you want to, anything it is that you want to do from here forward, very often there are applications. It doesn't matter if it's for a loan. It doesn't matter if it's for a job. It doesn't matter if it's for school. Often that question is going to come up. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Yes or no? And the answer to that question can be very crucial to whether or not if you've got a legitimate shot at any opportunity that you want to take advantage of. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here's the thing. Listen to your attorneys. These are good people. They're not going to steer you around. Any attorney that you have in the future, you listen to them. If an opportunity comes up, you can keep this case off your record. So if any school, bank, institutions, jobs, if they need to inquire about, is Mr. Carter a good person, for this job, for this position, to go to school, whatever, and they don't see anything bad on your record, no blemishes on your record, you have put yourself head and shoulders above your peers. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to come up with a way to keep it that way. Counsel, is there anything further?
No, we thank the court for addressing that issue.
Okay. DDC is fine. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, counsel, here's what the court is going to do. The court wants to see your client be successful with this, but he also has to learn that he has to manage this. I mean, he's an adult. In the eyes of the law, he's an adult. So whatever it is that he does, whatever actions he needs to think it through and make decisions, make better decisions about how he's going to handle dealing with people in his relationships. Here's what the court is going to do. Court will set bond in the amount of $1,000 personal bond while this case is pending. No contact with the complaining witness. Amia Terry, no contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to her through third parties, and no contact or those extends to her place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly while the case is pending. The court does note in the file that it appears that the complainant and your client share a child in common. Here's the thing, the court is prepared to allow for parenting time for visitation, basically with regard to exchange of the child, but it needs to be third party. Perhaps your office or the next attorney of record can help to facilitate parenting time. The court's not looking to keep, anyone from being able to exercise parenting time, but it would have to be third party exchange, and then a judge at the next court date can always address that issue.
Absolutely, Your Honor, our office is on it, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Is there anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
We have an update, Your Honor. We have Mr. Phillips, and I believe we may have been advised that Mr. Kyles has been released.
Okay, stand by. Let's finish this up, and then I'll be able to give my attention to that. Okay, you said you have Phillips, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, DDC, we have Phillips ready to go. And just to clarify, before we go any further, for Michael Kyles, is that person with you at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. But
He is with you?
He refused to come down for court.
Okay, so it sounds like you all have not, so you have not interviewed him, presumably.
That is correct.
Okay, well, DDC, here's the thing. And I know okay, I mean, we can always give you guys a call shortly, but the alternative is, in order for him to be arraigned, his refusal to appear does not mitigate this court's obligation to get him arraigned, and essentially, it's not like he's going to get released unless or until he gets arraigned. So we may need to discuss options about making him available, at least to appear in front of the attorneys, and then the attorneys can update us, the court, as to whether or not what steps, if anything, we need to do, because we do need to get him arraigned. So just be advised. Thank you, ma'am. Your name, sir?
Jordan Phillips.
Thank you, sir. Calling case number 2105682, People State of Michigan versus Jordan Phillips, aka Jordan Davion Phillips, aka Jordan Phillips. Counsel.
Driver Rob PA 3665 on behalf of Mr. Jordan Phillips, waiting formal readings and you. Mr. Phillips is advised.
Waive the formal reading and tonight guilty plea on your client's behalf as a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, followed by a Zoom center examination date, April 26, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court in front of Judge McConaughey when asked to bond, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Phillips is a 21-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. It does indicate where also that he does not have any prior criminal history. He came from the employed as a healthcare provider, Your Honor, has finished high school, stable residence in the community with his mother. He does have a 2-month-old child as well. He has to support for personal life.
Thank you. DDC's bond or any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes account representations, including your client's significant family and residential and community ties to the community, also under the criteria of the Michigan court rules, has to bond. This is non-assaultive, and also the court takes into account the pandemic facing the nation. Given those elements, court set bond the amount of $1,000 personal bond and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
That's on your bro. Let's see this man. Let's see what he's at, though. M5. Straight back to the left. You gonna go on that, brother? On the right.
Hi, your name, sir?
How you doing? My name is O'Byron England.
Thank you, sir. Calling case number 2004-5092, People's Michigan versus Byron Harris, England Council.
Brian Moran, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Byron England, we agree to you. Mr. England's been filed as constitutional.
Call with the formal reading of tonight's guilty plea. On your client's behalf, there's a Zoom-free trial date set for May 4, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. the Thursday District Court. And it will be in front of Judge Bryant in Esteban.
Your Honor, the two most important things I want to know is that one, that the stream of did in fact turn results this morning. Two, that this matter is approximately, I would say about 10 months old, Your Honor. He's 36 years old, lifetime resident, no prior criminal history, great job at no appliances. We're asking for first ball.
Thank you. DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. Council Court takes into account, it takes into account your client's significant family and residential ties as well as gainful employment. Also, of note to the court is that your client did turn himself in to make himself available to the court, to this court's jurisdiction for arraignment today, and so that the court, he's demonstrated that he will appear for all court dates while this case is pending. And for this case is slightly older, but he does want to get it in his rearview mirror. Given those elements, court will set bond the amount of $1,000 personal bond while this case is pending. No contact with the complaining witness, Carletta Fortune. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person. No messages to her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to the race of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts, directly or indirectly. Is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, sir. You step away from the camera.
Get the jacket and stuff. What was you at? It's on you right now. You gonna step on that white line for your first and last line?
Hey, Green, did y'all let Lieutenant Mark come?
Your name, sir?
Emmanuel Acuff.
Thank you, sir. Calling case number
What you saying?
210-568-2601, People's of Michigan versus Emmanuel Maurice A. Cup Council.
Brian Moran, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Emmanuel Acuff, with the formal reading. Mr. Acuff has been advised of this constitutional right.
Call with the formal reading of not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m., followed by clinical examination date to be determined at the 36th District Court, also by Zoom in front of Judge Jones in Esteban.
Results of lifetime residence does indicate for officer have stable residence in the community. Not posting monetary bond at this time, despite being employed with Chrysler. We asked the court for personal bond. I understand that the court because no contact order with Ms. Tanya Powell. She was not objecting to any contact order at this time. That client doesn't need for office, and he is going to be hiring counsel in this matter. So I asked the court to consider all of that. We're asking for personal bond.
Thank you. And DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, council court takes into account representations including your client's significant ties to the community. Also, that you did proactively address what's going to be a no contact order while this case is pending. That is very important. Court is going to do the following. Court will set bond in the amount of $10,000 personal bond. Also, your client will be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Also, while this case is pending, no contact with the complaining witness, Tanya Powell. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to her place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts, directly or indirectly, and no firearms while this case is pending. Anything further?
Your Honor, I'm always hesitant to address a personal bond. I just want to make a brief argument. My client does indicate that he was actually, prior to his arrest, this court setting his no contact order, that he was arrested while walking his dog with this Tanya Powell, who indicated that
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that again, sir.
that he was arrested while walking his dog with the complaining witness, Your Honor, that there is no issue, or was no issue, and is not familiar with anything of this nature. I understand what the court sees in front of it, and that these are assaulted allegations on his face, and that we would have to resolve these in the next few court days. I just want to give the court a little bit of context in hopes of the court not imposing a GPS tether. And at this time, I know that he is 52 years old, Your Honor. He's approaching an age that might be tethered to the coronavirus. I know that the GPS tether might hold him a couple of days extra. I would ask the court if it would be so inclined to not impose that GPS tether at this time. I'm still confident that Mr. Acuff is going to be hiring counsel and abiding by all of the
right, stand by. Tim, can I get just a blank? It's gonna be a personal bond, but just a new one because I had already written on it. So if I can just. All right, counsel, upon reconsideration, the court is taking that into account, but your client, hopefully your client understands the gravity that these are charges, they're allegations. However, they're very serious charges. A particular note for this court is that includes an allegation of an assault of nature within the context of a domestic dynamic, and that's the court's main concern. So, again, the court is taking into account your representations based on your client's understanding of what was going on, that he, per your client's representations to you, to your office, that he was not aware that there was anything amiss, but the court does note that the basis for these alleged charges from March 23, 2021, so it wasn't even a week from the time that you say your client was picked up, that there's an allegation of a very serious nature involving your client and the complainant. So your client also needs to understand that whatever representations or whatever takeaway your client may have as it relates to the complainant, it is now whatever's going on has resulted in charges. So your client needs to understand that even if he believes he's receiving mixed messages from the complainant, no contact means no contact. And now that this is a criminal matter, it does not matter if there are flowers left on the hood of his car, love notes, telephone calls, text messages, anything like that. He needs to understand that the onus is on him, and there's currently an order in place by this court to have absolutely no contact with the complainant. Because if this court finds out or has reason to believe that he's violated the no contact order, he's going to get picked up and he can spend the rest of his case in custody. So based on your representations, and you have certainly gone to bat for your client and advocated for your client, the court is reconsidering the condition of bond. The bond remains $10,000 personal.
Your Honor.
No contact with the complaining. Stand by, sir.
Don't say anything, sir.
No contact with the complaining witness, Tanya Powell. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to the place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. And let the court reiterate that it does not matter what, if anything, the complaining witness impresses upon your client, says to your client, represents to your client, begs, pleads, send love notes, leave flowers on the doorstep. Does not matter. No contact while this case is pending means no contact. And the only time that will change is if a judge specifically says to Mr. Akoff that no longer exists or anything like that. But for the time being, absolutely no contact with the complainant, because if he values his liberty while this case is pending, he will mind that, and that is the only thing that governs any decision he may face when it comes to whether or not to have contact with the complainant or not. That's the best way to maintain the integrity of the case and everybody's safety. Anything further? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
So, Your Honor, did we take the GPS tether off?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. No GPS tether, just a personal bond, a high personal bond, and no contact with the complainant.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir. You're all set, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
The best possible thing that can happen just happened.
My fucking shit is over. We just wife.
Well, you got that from her. She got
Okay. DDC, by any chance, do we have an update with regard to Michael Kyles, if we can make him available, or at least grant the attorneys an opportunity to address him, and whether he avails himself of it or not? At least that way we have an answer. We can make a decision on how to proceed.
He's being interviewed right now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate your power of persuasion. No, that was you. That was something you did. It wasn't us.
Let me see, I'm sorry. Where's handwriting? He said.
No, I got that title.
They called him, what'd he say, Key?
He told me he was about to pop on the screen. That guy been in there. He's not on the screen
He
yet.
was standing here behind you. No. I'll be the last one.
Doing paperwork?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for that.
Hey, man. That was on here standing behind Kiki, man. Who? Yeah, close the door. That's the last one. No?
Yes, ma'am. Say again? Oh, sure.
Magistrate Sherman,
Yes, sir.
can you let them know that Mr. Kyles is on camera too and needs to be interviewed by the court-appointed attorney, please?
Oh, okay, thank you. I think counsel just stepped away, so he might be looking at it now. We'll let them know.
I'll call somebody.
Hi, Ms. Stevenson.
Hi, I think I'm about to get some instructions right now, but I'll get in there. But you said camera
Okay,
two,
stand by.
Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, do you guys need a breakout room, or you're going to do it on your own on camera two?
You know what? Let me go check just to be sure. I think they're gonna get camera too, but let me go check to be sure.
Cause he in
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
We
Let us
locked
know.
him in. He's on camera too.
They said he's on camera too. And in the meantime, DDC, when your camera ready on, oh wait, is Hendricks Logan on the women's side?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's on the women's side. Okay, never mind. Okay. I'll find out from counsel if we have time to go to the women's side and come back, or what's the best way to get it done. Let me ask you this, ma'am. Do you have staff over there where we can do Logan Hendricks?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we can get them some time, and if they can take care, if we can get Mr. Hendricks Logan ready, we can do that one.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll meet you on the women's side. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. I ain't even know.
Yeah, we're about to do that. I'm dialing in right now, and that'll give you guys time to get the other gentleman done. Okay, we're on the record. Okay, thank you, ma'am. If you could please make sure you keep that mask over your nose and mouth. That's for your safety while you're there, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Calling case number 210-56825, People State Michigan versus Diamond Hendricks Logan Council.
Brian Ross, PA 3665, on behalf of Ms. Diamond Hendricks Logan, and you,
Call with formal reading of not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom. Probable cause State, April 26, 2021, at 8:30 at the 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom plan examination days to be determined in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
As Bond I'd like to know, my client is a 27-year-old lifetime resident here in the city of Detroit. She doesn't indicate for an officer that she has no prior criminal history. In fact, she's had a great job at Amazon. She's a high school graduate. No probation, no parole. But doesn't indicate for officer she can afford the monetary bond. She has a child in the community as well. I ask this court to consider personal bond for this man.
Okay, thank you. And DDC is a bond or any hold?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Council Court takes account representation, including your very significant long-term ties to the community, stable ties to the community, including gainful employment. And also, it doesn't appear there's anything else outstanding or pending. Given those elements, court will set bond in the amount of $1,000 personal bond. Is there anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am. You can step away from the camera. Thank you, DDC. We're going to go back on the men's side, and we'll be ready when you are.
Copy that. I'll get you back on the men's side. Just like that.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Just update us when you can. Okay, that's fine. We'll dial in and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for the update.
You doing next over?
She got $1,000.
That was fast.
Yeah, Sherman, we good with Sherman.
Oh, Sherman.
Nobody came on yet in there.
He's still waiting to be interviewed?
No, ma'am, if you would, I think we're ready. I think MIDC, let the record reflect, MIDC did make an attempt to interview the gentleman. However, at this time, he's not being cooperative. So what we're going to do is if you can just get him in front of camera one, we can proceed and the attorneys can make their representation. So whenever you can get him in front of the camera, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Black line.
Okay, go on the record, calling case number 210-56824, People State of Michigan versus Antonio Michael Kiles, AKA Michael Kiles. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Brian Marati, 3665. For the record, Your Honor, I'd like to indicate that our office has attempted to interview Mr. Michael Kiles. Mr. Kiles was uncooperative with our office. It appeared that he did not wish to be interviewed. So we tried, Your Honor, it doesn't appear that we're able to get any information from Mr. Kyles to adequately represent him for purposes of arraignment.
Okay, thank you. At this time, court will do the following. The court has called the case, and also Mr. Kyles does appear on screen in front of the camera. At this time, the court is going to go on the record with regard to the charges and the penalties so that Mr. Kyles understands the proceedings. At this time, this is the date and time set for arraignment with regard to the charges. At this time, Mr. Kyles, you stand charged with count 1, stolen property, receiving and concealing motor vehicle. It is a felony. The penalty that you could receive is 5 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine, or 3 times the value of the motor vehicle, whichever is greater. Count 2, unlawful driving away of a motor vehicle. It is a felony. The penalty that you could receive is 5 years in prison and the Secretary of State to suspend your driver's license. Also, sir, there is an habitual offender third offense notice. Therefore, the penalty is twice the maximum sentence on the primary offense or a lesser term. Let the record reflect the court has gone over all of the charges at this time and also the potential penalties. Mr. Kyles, did you hear the charges and understand the penalty that you could receive at this time, sir? Okay, Mr. Kyles has given a facial expression indicating that he has heard the court. However, it appears that Mr. Kyles is exercising at this time to not make any comments. So it appears that Mr. Kyles is aware of the proceedings, which the court has indicated on the record. At this court, the court will waive the formal reading and any additional reading, enter a not guilty plea on the gentleman's behalf. There is a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 26, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. for 36th District Court. Center examination date to be determined. At this time, court is going to go over Mr. Kyles' rights. Mr. Kyles, with any criminal matter, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You also have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one on your own, the court will appoint one for you at public expense. Mr. Kyles, do you understand these rights? Yes or no, sir? Again, Mr. Kyles is giving rather facial expressions indicating that he hears the court. However, again, he is opting to not make any verbal responses. Did you see, as to bond, are there any holds?
He has holds, Your Honor.
If anything, can you articulate, or if you have any reading on where those holds are or what they are?
No, I just got a copy of his arrest report because he refused to be fingerprinted. So I don't have that other sheet, just a copy of the DIS sheet.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. I'm sorry, go ahead, ma'am, you were saying?
And it's written on there, see page 2. When you see page 2, that's where all the holds are.
But no indication of the jurisdictions or what they're for, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, counsel in the court appreciates your office's effort to reach out to Mr. Kyles and to provide services for him. The court appreciates that, but we are going to proceed with the arraignment. The other concern is information presented by our arraignment, video arraignment officer, is that if it is the case that Mr. Kyles is refusing to be fingerprinted, that also raises a concern because there may be a secondary concern with regard to there may be other charges pending or other charges in the works, because if it's a case that a person the court is aware that in the event that a person refuses to be fingerprinted, that in and of itself can also result in another set of charges outside of the basis for what under which they were originally taken into custody. So that is a concern. Further, in the event that if it is the case that a court or any jurisdiction is unaware of who it is and who is exactly in custody because they have refused to be fingerprinted, that on its face can also be a cause for concern, and also inform the court with regard to bond or conditions of bond on the instant case as it does here. Given those elements, the court is going to do the following. Stand by. Madam Clerk, can we do we need a cash bond. Oh, sorry. Let the record reflect that for the reasons indicated, again, under the Michigan court rules, the court takes a number of items under consideration under the Michigan court rules. Not only the defendant's likelihood to return to court and appear in court, which is relevant here, because if it is the case that the gentleman has other holds and it's unknown where they are, that means that he has other matters that are outstanding, and we do not know what, if anything, those other matters are. It also speaks to this court with regard to bond in this case, and that it suggests that the gentleman is not going to return to court on this case. Further, I'm sorry, stand by. Also, and again, for all of those other reasons, it is unknown whether or not if Mr. Kyles either poses a danger to the community or to himself, because we do not know what, if anything else, may be pending in other jurisdictions, or if there is anything else outstanding, because unless or until this court or any other agency can positively identify Mr. Kyles or any other information relevant to him, that also speaks to the criteria the court utilized under Michigan court rules as to bond, again, to ensure that the gentleman returns to court for all stages of these proceedings. Therefore, and also since it is the case that the court is unable to elicit or get any other information from Mr. Kyles with regard to any ties to the community, where he lives, with whom he resides, any other ties to the community, the court will do the following. Let the record reflect there's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference date April 7, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 14, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court, again in front of Judge Sanford Jones. Given the elements that the court has articulated on the record as it relates to bond and conditions of bond, and of course also the court is also balancing that with the nature of the charges, which on their face are minor. They are not assaultive charges, and had Mr. Kyles been able to provide this court or your counsel, your office, information to substantiate a personal bond, this court was prepared to do a personal bond. However, in light of what the court has articulated on the record, the court will do the following to ensure Mr. Kyles returns to court while this case is pending. Also, the court is also expressing a concern because there's a potential that Mr. Kyles could be facing additional charges because of refusal to be fingerprinted. So unless or until Mr. Kyles gets fingerprinted, any agency handling anything regarding him needs to know who it is that they are dealing with. So for the reasons articulated on the record, court is setting bond in the amount of $20,000 cash surety, no 10%, no early or administrative release. And also, bond is subject to review at any time. Court is also going to note on the minimus that at the time of this bond and conditions of bond, Mr. Kyles has refused to be fingerprinted.
Your Honor, I understand that we're not on this case because he would not let us interview him.
Yes, sir.
I want to know if there are any maybe medical issues, or maybe if he's hard of hearing, if the DDC has any information with regard to that.
Okay. Well, here it is. Here's the thing. Madam, if you would please, and again, the court will remain sensitive to any security protocols that you may have. If it's possible to offer Mr. Kyles something to write with and a piece of paper, he's certainly welcome to perhaps indicate something in writing. If need be, if he is in need of assistance or any services that may help to facilitate his communication with counsel, it's up to you. Or if you need to have him step away to a secure area to do that, we have time to address that. So counsel, the court appreciates you bringing that to the court's attention. So the court is open to alternative means of communicating if that is an issue. So DDC, let us know.
He said no, pretty much he don't want to write anything. I have the paper and the pen right here.
Okay, Mr. Kyles, just to clarify, sir, the court is not asking you to speak or say anything. It's just that we're trying to eliminate any potential or any barriers to you being able to let us know and see if there's a way that we can assist you. Just nod your head, yes or no. Is it the case? Do you wish to write something to assist yourself or to speak with the attorneys, yes or no? Right. And counsel, thank you again. And the court is certainly prepared to accommodate or anything to help facilitate your office being of assistance to him. But at this time, based on what has been presented, and again, the court has made a record with your office, with the assistance of your office, with regard to the circumstances that we're facing at this time. At this time, the bond remains the same at $20,000 cash surety, with a notation on the minimus that the gentleman refuses to be fingerprinted as part of the basis for why the bond is set as it is. And of course, under the Michigan Court Rules, bond is subject to review at any time. So in the event that something should change between now and the end of business today, the court certainly welcomes an opportunity to revisit it. And then, of course, depending on where Mr. Kyles will be, after today's proceedings, at least there'll be information and opportunity to address that whenever possible. Anything further? Thank you, DDC. We appreciate your patience. You're all set, so you can step away from the camera. At this time, we are concluded. DDC, is there anyone who's been through for 48 hours or more?
No, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. We are concluded.
Come in. Sir.